It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host Ben. Now let's dive in. Bitcoin coming back down to the 50-day. That was kind of expected. And it's bouncing off, holding up there so far. So couldn't hold that 49. But we could easily see a bounce off of here for another test of 50,000. Now if it doesn't hold the 50-day, there's a long ways to drop back down to the 200 at 43,000. We do have that support at 45,000, so I think we would stop at 45,000 before we went all the way down to the 200. Ethereum pulling back to that 3,200 area. It actually dipped below that, got all the way down to 3,120, but was bought back up and pushed back above the 3,200 support area, that floor. And you can see on this candle, same thing's happening, getting bought up and trying to get pushed back above that 50-day moving average. A little rougher of a sell-off than I would have liked to seen. But as long as we hold up here, we should see it come back up and test 3,300. 3,300 being as strong as resistance as it is, and then not being able to get to 34 and 35. This whole area from 33 to 35 is just one big tough resistance zone. So we're going to need to see some big buying volume, some big bullish movement out of Ethereum to break through those areas. And it is possible we see that. It's just probably going to take a couple of days here for Ethereum to consolidate up for another push. Now, of course, we know if 3,200 doesn't hold up, then Ethereum would come back down to 3,000. I don't think we're going to see that big of a pullback in the crypto market here after this dip with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think those dips are done for now. Of course, it yanked Cardano down. Cardano was all the way down to 264, but recovered back to 284. So getting back close up to that 3. I still think we're going to see a test of $3 here tonight or tomorrow on Cardano. So even though a lot of the cryptos have pulled back, MATIC that we've been talking about, continuing to push, got all the way up to 15, up 36% on the day, currently holding around $13. So, I mean, this was a great play, great trend line build up, and then a final explosion. So, probably not going to break 15 right away as it got held up there. May have to see like a little triangle, a bull flag of consolidation for the next 2 days before we see it make another move. Unless buying volume just comes back in and pushes it up. But with this upper wick right here, where that selling pressure from 15 pushed it back down, I'd say it's going to take a couple of days to break more. Now, Bond has an interesting chart pattern here. We draw that resistance line there, and then we can draw an uptrend right here, which is pretty much the 50-day. You can see the 50-day moving average is right behind that uptrend. But this is a nice triangle squeeze that's happening on Bond. It looks like it's going to try to break the triangle here tonight. Every time it's broken over, it's ripped a couple of dollars before getting pushed back below this resistance. But it looks like it may try to have an actual big break coming. Just one to keep on a close eye on. So Luna did break that downtrend. Very nice, making a new high up about 34.65. Didn't pull back that much comparatively to a lot of the other cryptos. Holding the 10-day moving average here, staying well above 30. So I'd say Luna has got some more movement in it. It may not hold here. It may drop down to the 50 and then have to curl back around. But that 30 is holding pretty strong for now. MIR, this swing was looking good last night. It popped up out of the triangle and ran all the way up to 440. And then everything happened with Bitcoin and Ethereum and just yanked this right back down. So it's trying to hold that same support area-ish that it was at, this 405 to 415. That pullback just kind of reset the momentum, so it could sell off and come all the way back down to the 200 at this point. You can see the 10-day has crossed over the 50, so I'll give it like a couple hours here to see if it can push back up over those EMAs, but if it starts dropping any lower than 405, I'm out of this. So Atom cracking down out of this triangle with that pullback on everything, but bouncing off the 50-day, basically bouncing off the $20 area. I expect $20 to hold as some support on Atom, and I'd expect it to try to get back up to that 25 as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum don't keep selling off. So we got pullbacks all over the place. Balancer was pushing its way up there at 32, 33 before it got yanked back down, but trying to hold above this previous ceiling, this previous resistance line of the top of this channel. CGLD getting yanked back down to the bottom of the trend line. Actually cracked below it for a second, but bounced off the 200 and is currently trying to stay within it. CTSI is in a big triangle here. Looks like it may try to break up out of this triangle soon. The last big run it went on, it ran all the way to $1.27. So yeah, this is a very nice big wedge of consolidation, and it's curling up right now for a test. I like the way that looks. This is definitely one to keep on watch. So Dogecoin was already bearish and selling off, and then of course Bitcoin dropping yanked it back down even further, got all the way down to 27. Just trying to hold that area about 27.5, 28 as some support, and it has the 200-day there, so getting a little bounce back up to 30, but it'll have to re-break 30 and hold if it's going to continue to move. Polkadot with the little pullback, but you can see it's still in this channel, holding up that bottom support. So just need to see a bounce off of that to see it come back up and hit 28. MATIC pulling back down in that 150 area, but holding that area of support as we expected. We're going to see a bounce there if it's going to continue. Mario LC swing working out pretty nicely, getting all the way up to 550. I didn't lock anything out up there because I wasn't really expecting this sharp of a pullback. You see it bounced off the 50 and bounced off the 480 of the bottom of this channel, trying to come back up. So I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer while it's in this channel. So that's all the coins I'm going to cover for today. I could go over more, but Bitcoin and Ethereum's pullback pretty much slowed the market down like I was expecting, like we've been talking about. It is good to see Mask still running, a couple of altcoins still holding up and showing some strength. But everything right now that's holding at support or trying to hold support is all going to be dependent on whether Bitcoin and Ethereum can hold their current support levels. If we see those support levels crack down, then we're going to see support levels across the market crack down. Now, if we're going to break 50K soon, then we're going to have to see Bitcoin hold up this support now. It cannot drop much lower, or it's going to take longer and longer for a possible breakout. Every time we get a jerk out of the momentum like this, it takes it a couple extra days to consolidate and come back up, and that's usually the case for the rest of the market. Still got some hotness in the altcoins, which is still a good sign. I think this may be just a short-lived overhype of the rejection of 50K on Bitcoin, but buying still coming in, volume still in the market. I think this was just a little healthy correction, but we will see. So if there's any coins that I'm not currently covering that you'd like me to cover, leave them in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on whether we're going to start selling off some more or if we're going to turn around and test that 50K on Bitcoin. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.